hello everybody. My name is Dr. B. Naresh, General Science Biology faculty. Before starting to class, I want to discuss the role of general science in competitive exams. Okay, so before going to class, I want to discuss the role of general science, GS, general science in competitive exams. To take any competitive exam in India, okay, civil services to police constables, group 1, group 2, group 3, okay, so RRB and Panchayat Raj Secretary, VRO, VRA, SI, constables, so group 1 prelims, take any competitive exams in India, general studies compulsory. General studies compulsory. In general studies, one topic is general science. And general studies generally combination of different subjects. So one subject is general science. Okay, GS. In GS, general science compulsory. In general studies, so general science compulsory. This general science combination of physics, chemistry, okay, botany and zoology. Botany and zoology combinedly called biology. Here we are not discussing botany separately, zoology separately, some combined topic okay, called biology. So my topics are biology related topics, and you can expect so 5 to 7 questions from biology in all competitive exams, group 2 and group 1 prelims, okay, etc. in all competitive exams. Compared to the other subject in general science, you can expect more questions from biology. So reason, biology more related to our daily life. Actually, there is no syllabus in competitive exams. Generally, they give syllabus like this. Questions generally covered from our daily life. No need to a person to study special books, etc. But so they're asking the subjects, little bit subject related questions, and biology more related to, compared to other subjects, biology more related to our daily life. That's why they're asking more questions from biology. Okay, in general science, biology. So you can expect 5 to 7 questions. And biology also important to understand the science and technology topics, and plus environmental related topics like this. So that's why before going to other subjects, please comment on biology. Okay, this helpfully a lot to understand so other subject, other topics like science and technology, environmental biology, etc. So here these all are the basics. These basics are compulsory to understand many topic. So that's why here today and the next few classes we are discussing some general studies, general science related topics. So these are the few points about role of general science in competitive exams. In all competitive exams, general science compulsory. Without general science, you cannot expect a exam paper, general studies exam paper. Okay, and so today we are discussing a topic called nutrient materials. Okay, directly, so I am going to the class. Okay, one topic, today topic, nutrient materials. Nutrient materials. Nutrient materials are nothing but food materials. Nutrient materials are nothing but food materials. Food materials. Okay, what are the food materials? How food materials are helpful to our body? See, daily we are taking different types of the materials. Is it all our food material? Sometimes no. For example, somebody taking pan para gutka. Is it the nutrient material? No. Okay. So yeah, regularly we are taking tea, coffee, rice, chapati, etc. These all are the nutrient material. Then what? How nutrient materials are helpful to our body? To avoid all these confusion, here I am giving importance of nutrient materials. Okay, so food materials are nutrient materials same. So here I am continuing what are the food materials, how they are useful to our body, etc. So first, importance of nutrient materials, meaning how nutrient materials are helpful to our body. Okay, first, nutrient material give energy to our body. Nutrient material give energy to our body. Carbohydrates direct give energy. Fats are direct to give energy. Okay, next, so important for, second one, important for body growth and development. Body growth and development. Important for body growth and development. Growth and development means height, weight. Okay, to increase height, weight, fats, proteins, compulsory. So this way, nutrient metals are helpful for body growth and development, and also helpful for healing of wounds. Helpful for healing of wounds. That's why doctors after surgeries or after accidents, so they advise take more proteins, non-veg, eggs, because proteins are helpful to increase protein synthesis in our body. So faster growth of muscles, skin. So this helpful to healing of wounds, and also important for metabolism. These nutrient materials are important for metabolism, or they are useful for metabolism. Metabolism means different functions, reactions inside our body, cells called metabolism. And finally, nutrient materials are improve immunity. Improve immunity. For healthy immune system, these nutrient material compulsory. These improve immune system. So particularly vitamins, minerals like zinc. So these are helpful for immunity. That's why to control or to reduce the virus load in our body. Okay, so improving immunity compulsory. Particularly Corona, COVID-19. So doctors always saying improve your immunity by taking regularly, okay, vitamins, minerals, proteins, etc. So vitamin C, vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E. So these are improve immunity, boost our immunity, especially zinc boost our immunity. So and the proteins are helpful for immunity. So that's why, so to fight against coronavirus, okay, so doctors always advising, so take good food materials, nutrients, okay, so vitamin C, D, E and zinc, etc. Okay, so this way to improve immunity, so food materials compulsory. Okay, these all are the importance of nutrients to our body. Okay, to qualify a material is a nutrient, a food material is a nutrient material, or a material is a nutrient material, it is helpful for any one of these way. Okay, for example, you take carbohydrates, they give energy, that's why they are the nutrient materials. Or sugars, they give energy, that's why nutrient materials. And proteins, they are important for body growth and development, that's why they are the nutrient materials. And vitamins and minerals, important for metabolism and immunity, that's why they are the nutrient materials. So like this, to qualify any material is a nutrient material, food material, they are helpful for any one of this way. In case material is not helpful for any one of this way, that is not a nutrient materials. Okay, so these are the few points about nutrient materials or uses of nutrient material to our body. Okay, so next, so types of nutrient materials. Types of nutrient materials. Types of nutrient metals. Types. Number one, okay, macronutrient materials. Macronutrient materials. Macronutrient materials. And number two, micronutrient materials. Micronutrient materials. Micronutrient materials. Okay. Here nutrient metals are two types based on how much quantity we are eating. How much quantity we are intaking daily. Okay, don't think like this. Macro means large size, micro means small size. Not based on size, we are dividing nutrient metals are two types. Based on how much quantity we are eating, okay, in a day, how much quantity required to our body. Okay, so macronutrient materials meaning these are require large quantity. This much size material is a macronutrient material, this much size is a micro, not like that. Okay, so not based on size, based on how much quantity we are eating. So based on that, nutrient materials are two types. Macronutrient materials require large quantity. So how much quantity they require? Kg per day, or at least grams per day. Kg per day or grams per day. Okay, so for example, carbohydrates. Yeah, okay, we are taking almost all kg per day average. Morning tea, sugar, okay, 50 grams. Breakfast, 200 to 50 grams carbohydrates. Lunch, 300 to 400 grams carbohydrates. Snacks, evening, 100 grams snacks. Night dinner, again, 300 grams, 200 grams. Like this average, we are taking 1 kg carbohydrates per day. Okay, like this material which require large quantity, so they are called macronutrient materials. Okay, examples: carbohydrates, lipids also called fats, and proteins. So these are called macronutrient materials. So remember, so based on requirement we are divided like this. Lipids, minimum 50 grams. Lipids nothing but oil. So milk contains oil, curries contains oil, and curd contains some fats. Okay, so these all are 50 grams per day. And proteins, pulses, dal, okay, nuts, okay, non-veg, egg, these are nothing but proteins. We are taking 50 grams per day minimum. So like this, any food material, so we are required grams or kg per day, they are called the macronutrient materials. We are eating kgs or grams per day because our body requirement like this. So next, micronutrient materials, reverse. Food material which require very small quantity, only milligrams or micrograms. Micronutrient material requires milligrams or micrograms. You know, 1 gram is equal to 1000 mg, and 1 mg is equal to 1000 micrograms. Just imagine, so how these are, require very small quantity. Okay, so these are require very small quantity. Examples, micronutrient material examples: vitamins. Examples, note down: vitamins, minerals. These two are the micronutrient materials, require very small quantity. For example, zinc, a 20 mg enough. Okay, so vitamin D, a 2000 units enough, or a 25-30 mg enough. Vitamin C, a 500 mg enough, even not 1 gram. Okay, selenium, chromium, 0.1 micrograms enough per day. We are not taking half kg vitamin D, half kg vitamin C, 100 grams vitamin A, 10 grams selenium, etc. because they are require very small quantity. That's why doctors also advise them, so a very small quantity. They give in the form of tablets, tonics, etc. very small quantity, per 10 ml 0.1 grams, or for 20 ml so and so micrograms, like this. Okay, they require small quantity, so that's why they are called the micronutrient materials. Example, vitamins, minerals. So this is a common introduction to all these 5 topics. Okay, so actually carbohydrate is a separate topic, lipid is a separate topic, protein is a separate topic, vitamin separate topic, mineral separate topic. These are 5 different topics, but these all are contains a normal introduction, general introduction, common introduction. Now we are discussing all these 5 topics detailedly. So in these 5 topics, first one, very important one, is vitamins. Okay, you can expect a compulsory question in all competitive exams from vitamins. So that's why, so today, so I am giving introduction and detailed study about the vitamins. So note down next side, next heading, next topic, fresh topic, vitamins. Okay, vitamins. First point, these are micronutrient materials. Micronutrient materials, meaning require very large quantity. Then what is the use of vitamins? Okay, vitamins are part of enzymes. Vitamins are part of enzymes and activate enzymes Vitamins are part of enzymes and activate enzymes. What are enzymes? Enzymes are special biochemical compounds present in our cells. Not only in our cells, all organism cells. So inside the cells, every function, metabolism controlled by one enzyme. To complete one function, metabolism inside the cell, these enzymes are compulsory. So vitamins and minerals, these 2 points you can write even minerals topic also. Belongs to both vitamins and minerals. So vitamins, minerals, part of the enzymes. Many enzymes contains vitamins and minerals a part. Okay, to activate enzymes. Okay, to continue that metabolic reaction function, so these are compulsory. Without vitamins, without some minerals, what happens? That enzymes not activated. Enzymes are not activated, function disturbance. That metabolism not possible in our body. So disturbance in a body function is called disease. In case that metabolism not occurs, that function disturbance in our body, that leads to a disease. Okay, so disease is nothing but so disturbing of any function, metabolism in our body, disease. So this way, vitamins, minerals controlled our body functions. Deficiency or absence of vitamins, minerals, enzymes not activated, so disturbance in body function, this leads to disease. This way, indirectly, vitamins, minerals deficiency cause diseases. Not directly, okay, they are not directly causing diseases. Indirectly, their deficiency cause diseases. So how? So deficiency of vitamins, minerals, these enzymes are not activated. So a lot of disturbance in our body functions. These leads to different diseases. So this way, vitamins, minerals, okay, so indirectly control our body metabolism. Their deficiency indirectly cause diseases. So this is the role of vitamins in our body. Okay. Next point. Vitamins, term coined by Funk. Vitamins, term coined means given by Funk. Okay. And next, vitamins classified mean divided. He classified vitamins into A, B, C, D, E, K. Vitamins are classified by Funk. Okay. Next, first vitamin. B1 vitamin, also called thiamine, isolated by Funk. He isolated crystalline form of this vitamin. For this, he awarded Nobel Prize those days. Okay, so that's why for all these contributions, Funk is called father of vitaminology. Father of vitaminology. Who? Funk. Vitaminology, study of vitamins. Any word ending with ology means study. So study of vitamins, vitaminology. Why we are giving preference to Funk? Because he coined the term and he classified the vitamins into A, B, C, D, E, K. And next he isolated B1 vitamin first time, okay, pure form. That's why so he is called father of vitaminology. Before Funk, Hopkins and many other scientists also conducted research in vitamins, but they are not concluded anything perfectly scientifically. That's why we are not considering their names. So first time all these all are done by Funk. That's why he is called father of vitaminology. Okay, so contribution of Funk to vitaminology, vitamins. So next, types of vitamins. Vitamins based on solubility, two types. Vitamins based on solubility, two types. Okay, solubility means dissolve. Solubility means dissolveness. Okay, two types. Number one, water soluble vitamins. Water soluble vitamins, B comma C. Next, fat soluble vitamins. Fat soluble vitamins. Okay, ADEK. ADEK. So based on solubility, dissolveness. Okay, these are two types. Vitamins are two types: water soluble vitamins, fat soluble vitamins. BCs are water soluble vitamins. For example, we can easily mix lemon juice into water. They are easily mixed, but we cannot mix vitamin E, vitamin D in oil because in water, because these are fat soluble vitamin most of the time. So these are look like fats and behave like fats. Okay, so BC vitamins are water soluble vitamins, AD are fat soluble vitamins. Another best example. Okay, many oil companies, edible oil companies advertise like this: our so and so oil is enriched with vitamin AD. They are adding extra vitamin A, D, E in that oils. Why they are adding? So these all oils, or these are fat soluble vitamins ready to dissolve in that oil. Okay, so that's why they become part of that oil. When you take that oil along with oil, fats, lipids, our body can also get vitamin A, D, E. Okay, many edible oil companies, they are mixing vitamin A, D, and sometimes some milk companies also. Okay, so daily milk. Okay, and they are also mixing extra vitamins D, etc. in their milk. Reason, okay, these are easily soluble in fats. Okay, so like this, based on solubility, water soluble vitamins, fat soluble vitamins. Okay, and next, based on storage in our body. Based on storage in our body, vitamins also two types. Next, continuation, based on storage. Storage also, vitamins are two types. So what are they? Okay, non-storable vitamins. Non-storable vitamins. Non-storable vitamins. And storable vitamins. Storable vitamins. Non-storable vitamins and storable vitamins. What is this non-storable vitamins, storable vitamins? So meaning, okay, so first I am giving examples. Non-storable vitamins, B comma C. Storable vitamins, A, D, B12. Non-storable vitamins meaning these are not stored in our body, excess one excreted outside. Our body throw outside all these vitamins mainly in the form of in the urine and other ways. Okay, excess one not present in our body throw outside, or we are excreting this excess material so in different ways. Okay, for example, today you are taken 10 glasses of orange juice. Orange juice contains vitamin C. Okay, so that absorb from our body, enter into blood, supply to all body parts, all cells, body parts receive vitamin C. Then it become excess because you are taken 5 glass, 6 glass within the half an hour. So that excess one, so excreted outside in the urine. That's why, so human, which of the following vitamin excreted through human urine means vitamin C, because excess one not present in our body throw outside that excess one in different forms. Okay, that means they are not storable in our body. That's why these are called the non-storable vitamins. So due to this, doctors also advise take only one tablet, one B complex tablets per day, or take one vitamin C per day. Okay, 10 hours gap or 15 hours gap or 13 hours gap, if you are taking one more, so B complex vitamin C, no problem. But so within the half an hour, 2 to 3 tablets, or within the half an hour, 4-5 so glasses of orange juice means your body not utilize that vitamin C perfectly, fully, that because they are non-storable vitamins. Okay, they excreted outside. Okay, and next, storable vitamins. So B12, AD, B12, mainly these are stored in liver. What about EK? So EK also storable, but generally they are not included in this category. So storable means excess one stored in our body. Excess one stored in our body. For example, today you are taking half kg papaya. So papaya indirectly contains vitamin A, not directly, indirectly contain vitamin A. Okay, so that excess that become excess. That day it become excess. That excess vitamin A stored in our body, where in the liver. Whenever our body need vitamin A, utilize that from store. Okay, so utilize from that source. Okay, from liver. So liver to vitamin A again enter into blood, supply to all body parts. So like this excess one stored. That's why excess taking of papaya in one day not a problem. Okay, that time our body utilizes some vitamin A. Excess one stored in liver. Okay, in our body. Whenever our body need that vitamin A, immediately so supply to all body parts. Okay, so reason this is a storable so vitamin. Okay, and same vitamin D, doctors advise take 60k vitamin weekly once, 15 days once, monthly once. Reason, so monthly once also enough this taking of vitamin D 60k means high dose. Reason that excess one stored in our body supply total week or total that 15 days. Okay, so why they are not advising take vitamin D tablets daily, regularly, monthly, or throughout the year? Okay, no need to take throughout the year, no need to take regularly, because once you are taking vitamin A, vitamin D, etc., if that is become excess stored in our body, whenever our body need, immediately that's utilized. Okay, so that's why these all are the storable vitamins. Sometimes vitamin D become excess dangerous also. Okay, that's why taking of vitamin D, okay, so under doctor supervision, doctor prescription compulsory. Vitamin D excess also sometimes cause problematic. So that's why doctors give very low dose, which not cause any damage to our body. Okay, so many times a question like this: which of the following vitamin not cause excess one, not cause any damage to our body? Okay, B complex vitamins, C. B complex vitamin B12 also not cause any damage to our body. But so in case, so vitamin D excess overdose, regularly, continuously taking, years together, so high dose, there is a chance. Okay, so that's why doctors advise better to check vitamin D levels in our blood. So in case you need a deficiency, immediately they advise. Or already, so that is a high level, toxic level, doctors advise don't take vitamin D. So like this, these all are related to our daily life. So why I am giving all these examples? Because there is a chance to ask questions like this, okay, which are related to our daily life. For example, to improve immunity, to fight against coronavirus, which of the following vitamins compulsory, which of the following minerals compulsory? Like this, in the form of current affairs or daily life related questions, chance to ask in competitive exams. Okay, so that's why this type of the healthy discussion, compulsory to answer many questions. Okay, so these all are the storable vitamins and non-storable vitamins, storable vitamins in our body. So this is the total introduction about the vitamins. So now, so we are discussing all these vitamins. Okay, A, B, C, D, E, K, all these vitamins. So one by one. So clearly in next classes. Today, thank you.